a few years ago, my brother got married. And for the wedding, a lot of family flew in. Okay? And there is a young cousin of mine. I believe it's a cousin or a nephew once removed or whatever. And 14 years old. And he loves movies. Different kinds of movies, you know? Seen a lot of stuff, especially for a 14-year-old. Really involved and interested in art. And he had learned, I was living in New Jersey at the time, that I had this little home theater in my living room that you guys have been to a million times, and that I loved different kinds of movies, and he loved different kinds of movies, and I haven't seen him too much because he lives, in a different state, kind of far. So we decide that he's going to stay over my place for a night, and we're going to watch a movie. And he liked everything, horror, you name it. But it seemed to me that mostly he was interested in things that were just different and vibey and interesting. Okay? So I chose, and I knew that he could handle it, I believed, because of other titles that I heard from his father that he had seen, right? So he comes over, I pop in a little movie called Eraserhead. And I chose this movie. I chose this movie. I know you haven't seen it yet, John. You have, Adam, but I chose this movie because I thought, you know what? If I'm going to choose one, I get one for this kid to see and really remember the experience. Because I knew I probably wasn't going to see this cousin of mine for a long time, and I haven't seen him for a while, even though I've kept a little in touch with him. And the movie plays. The movie plays well. Because even though it was just the two of us, I was watching him kind of carefully. And the whole movie, first of all, it was a beautiful Blu-ray of Criterion, which I hadn't screened in full yet. So I was dazzled because of the new transfer. It was absolutely incredible on my big screen and the surround sound. But he just sort of shrank back into the couch. Not in a bad way. There was intrigue, but there was a clear emotional response constantly walloping this kid. And again, not in a way that he wasn't able to handle it. It was just obvious that he had never frickin' seen anything like this before. This was the first Lynch movie, blah, blah, blah. The movie ends. The credits roll. I look over at my cousin, who I hadn't looked at in a bunch of minutes because I was enthralled with the ending, and I always am. My cousin was like this. For those of you that are listening on audio, I am covering my mouth with both of my hands, sinking back into my chair. My eyeballs are popping out of my skull. And I let the credits roll and run through their entirety. And my cousin just keeps that stance. It was just, I was almost watching myself watch the movie for the first time because it reminded me of when I watched it when I was like 15 or 16, I believe I was. Almost the same age. And it just gave me this idea that it doesn't matter what time period we're in. It doesn't matter who it is, although it really shouldn't be shown to kids that are too young, right? Where you come from, you watch this film and you are absolutely a prisoner to the emotional response that is impending on you. And that it is my favorite Lynch moment of all time, because not only did I ask my cousin what they thought, and they said, first of all, he said, I'm processing, but it was incredible. Incredible. And not only that, but my cousin changed his Facebook profile picture to the head of the Eraserhead baby. And I believe it's still that ever since that night. So I haven't had a full-blown conversation with him since about this specifically, but I believe, especially after he listens to this, I'm sure he's going to talk to me about it again. I believe that had one of the most emotional and visceral impacts on him in his life. And there is something unbelievably important to be said about a filmmaker that is able to do that to anyone.
That rips. That story rips so hard. That is like goated uncle energy there. Or no, you said cousin, right?
Cousin.
Yeah,
That's
it's either uncle or cousin, whatever. Regardless, I am the psychotic, crazy family member that showed the 14-year-old, family member the thing.
Nah, man,
his father loved it though. His father was like, Eraserhead. I love that movie.
Yeah, dude, that's coolest family member shit right there. That's that's fucking awesome.
It's all due to Lynch, not me.
Yeah.
I just hit the play button,